We don't need to do a mic check, do we? Excellent. Go. Clearly, wherever that sun goes, drives them to the shade. I'm County Supervisor Joel Anderson. I want to welcome you all for kicking this off. Thank you for being here as we open the county's newest safe parking site. These projects take money to make them happen. And when we went to Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs for help, she and her team jumped right into action. Congresswoman Jacobs, you and your staff were so helpful, and you've been a superstar for our mutual constituents. So thank you so much for your work on this project and all the other projects that you've helped fund. I also like to acknowledge San Diego City Council member Raul Campillo for his instrumental support of this safe parking site. You see, this is county land, but everywhere you look is his district. When I reached out to my good friend Raul about partnering on this safe parking site, he and his staff worked hard and helped us get the community buy-in that we needed. You don't see any protesters. Everybody in the community understands how important this is to their community, and they're all very, very supportive thanks to his incredible work. Councilmember Capillo has been a great partner on many issues, and I, on behalf of my constituents, sincerely appreciate his work on this project. Finally, I'd like to thank Dion Beck, the Director of the County Office of Homeless Solutions in Dreams for Change, who will be operating this site. Dion, you and your staff have been amazing. We're so grateful for the work that you do every day to help people change their lives for the better. You know, it's always been important to me to lift the members of our community. And Dr. Teresa Smith, Dreams for Change, is an essential partner in our effort to end homelessness. So thank you and your team for your excellent work. 52% of people staying in our current safe parking, have all moved on to permanent housing. This is an incredible number, getting people back into housing with wraparound services. When I ran for supervisor 5 years ago, I put "end homelessness" on all my signs. It was a bold statement, and it wasn't just a slogan. It's been my mission since being elected to the Board of Supervisors. Nobody should have to live in their car or on the streets. Everyone deserves to have an open park where they can take their children to play. 2 years ago, during the point-in-time count, it showed that I lowered homelessness in my district by 27%. The first time my district had ever lowered homelessness. Last year, I'm proud to report that we lowered it by another 11%. And it's through projects like this where we've helped people get off the street with incredible success rates like 52%. We continue to make progress and innovation in programs like safe parking sites in contributing to their success. In closing, it's important to remember the people that we are helping. I'll never forget the 80-year-old woman we helped at the Magnolia Safe Parking site. Rachel is a wonderful person and a senior citizen that retired many years ago, but her retirement didn't keep up with inflation, and she couldn't afford her apartment on her own. We know that seniors are the fastest growing homeless population due to rising costs, which particularly hurt those on fixed incomes like Rachel. By the way, I'm pleased to report within 6 months we found permanent housing for her, and she's moved on with her life, as every grandparent and senior should be able to do. This safe parking program is saving lives and helping those who need it most. I keep saying this number because it's so crucial, but in fact, more than half, 52% of those at the Magnolia and Bancroft safe parking sites transition to stable housing. We look forward to even more success stories from the families and individuals that will be helped in this location. Now I'd like to introduce my good friend and the representative for the California's 51st Congressional District, Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs. Before I do that introduction, I'd like to contrast what we're reading nationally and what we're being told. When all levels of government, Congress, City Council, and County work together, incredible things can be accomplished for our constituents, and today is a prime example. Now I'd like to introduce Sarah has been an incredible partner to me and our mutual constituents. Additionally, her team has helped many of my constituents with their federal issues, and we truly appreciate you and your staff's diligence to solve problems. You know, I represent a huge number of veterans. So many of them have issues, and they fall through the cracks. Sarah and Sarah's team has never allowed that to happen on their watch, and so I'm grateful for that. Sarah, thank you again for being here today. I know you're awfully busy, and thank you for your instrumental work in securing federal funds to operate this site. Without your help, I'm not sure we'd be here today. With that, I'd like to have Sarah come up. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Supervisor Anderson, thank you so much for your leadership in getting this up and running and continuing to push for our mutual constituents and make sure that everyone in our community knows that they are valued. I really appreciate your partnership on this and so much else. And let the record state, bipartisanship is not dead. Look, we know that every night in San Diego there are thousands of people, parents, children, veterans, who sleep in their cars and have nowhere else to go. For them, the car isn't just how they get from place to place. It's shelter, it's security, it's their only option. But that feeling of safety can be fleeting when the fear of being harassed, being towed, or being fined is always in the back of your mind and keeping you up at night. This safe parking site changes that. Here, families can sleep through the night. Here, people have access to bathrooms and daily meals and case managers. Here, people have safety and stability and dignity and hope. That's why I'm so proud we were able to secure $850,000 in federal funds to make this safe parking site a reality. But we know, as important as safe parking sites are, this is not the final solution to our housing and homelessness crisis. We know from the University of California, San Francisco's 2023 study that the main driver of homelessness is not mental health, it's not addiction, it's not poor decisions. It's that housing costs are too high and incomes are too low. That's why I'm so concerned about what we're about to see in our community as we have millions of people kicked off of their health insurance and food assistance by this new budget bill. If people have less money for medical bills and groceries, that means they have less money for rent. So this budget will push more people out of their homes and into poverty and potentially into homelessness. And so I'm not gonna just let that happen. I'm gonna keep working to reimagine our social safety net because our current systems just aren't helping enough people and they aren't helping people enough. And that needs to change. And I'm going to keep working with our partners at the state and local levels to bring down the cost of housing so that we can keep people in their homes to start with. So thank you everyone here today for your role in opening this site. Today marks the turning point for so many people, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the good things that will happen. And now it is my great honor to introduce my friend, Councilmember Raul Campillo, who represents this area. We have a 100% overlap of our district, so we get to work together a lot. And he has been so instrumental in getting this site open. Raul.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Supervisor, and thank you so much, Congresswoman Jacobs, for not just your words, but the actions and the leadership that shows, our constituents, our mutual constituents expect us to deliver things, and this is a prime example of that. For those who don't know me, my name is Raul Campillo. I represent District 7 on the San Diego City Council, which includes the Grantville neighborhood right here on Mission Gorge. I really just want to emphasize first the county staff and Supervisor Joel Anderson, the work that they've done to get the funding and get this off the ground. Of course, many years ago, Supervisor Anderson said, hey, let's meet up in downtown for a coffee with a couple members of our staff, and let's talk about what we can do together. What's the biggest issue your constituents are talking about? And I said, homelessness is at the top of everyone's mind. And he said, I have an idea, because we have some county land, and it's just kind of sitting there. We should do something with it. We plan to build housing on it down the road, but there's no reason this land should just sit here for years and years. What do you think about that, Raul? I said, 100% agree with you. My staff will go out, reach out into the community, talk to people about getting their temperature on this, and we both knew that the best step forward for funding was going to Sarah Jacobs, because she continually delivers over and over and over again for San Diego, and there's just no doubt we could have done this, we could not have done this without her. So thank you, Congresswoman, and thank you, Supervisor. City and county and federal collaboration are how we address these types of issues, because it's not just San Diego that's dealing with homelessness, it's also all of California, and it's all across the country. And so many months ago, I issued a challenge. I said that the county needs to work better with the city. And a lot of people asked me, how do you expect to see that? And I put that challenge out there, but I did make a caveat in that speech. That caveat was that Supervisor Joel Anderson has been a consistent partner since the day we were both elected back in November of 2020 to work on behavioral health and homelessness issues. And we can see his good idea with my staff and my groundwork here in the community and the federal funding that Congresswoman Jacobs always delivers. Here you have it. You have something that's not just laying waste and gathering heat. We're going to have people who are going to be able to come here at night, have peace of mind. And I just want to put this little bit of pragmatic aspect out there for people who say, oh, really, what good is using this parking lot for this way? A lot of people know. People park in the neighborhoods, and folks are asking, well, we're lacking in parking right now. We got a parking lot. Let's have people in it. Let's give them a bathroom. Let's give them services. Let's give them some food. Let's give them a place to stay at night. And here's the thing, too. A lot of you work with someone who's living out of their car, and you just don't know it. You're at a gym. That person, you see them drive away, you wonder, I wonder what they do with their life. They sleep in a parking lot like this. Your son or daughter's classmate in college can't afford an apartment. They're living in their car at a parking lot like this. It's for people who you interact with every single day, people with jobs, people who just don't have enough of that rent to pay for their own spot. This helps people transition out of that and into a stable place to grow their lives and their families, and it's a smart thing to do, because there's no reason this parking lot should remain empty while we wait a few years to see 300 units or so come online here for seniors. That's the other long-term thing, and I know they're going to talk about who's going to live here down the road, but we're going to be providing much-needed housing, especially for seniors. So with that, I'll close. I can tell you that with 100% certainty, every safe parking lot we've had in the city of San Diego has been a success, a smart investment. Actually spending money in the right way. It's cheaper and more effective than lots of other methods. And this helps people not have to sleep off in a cul-de-sac somewhere or off on some dark street. They get to be right here and be connected to the community and get their feet back underneath them. So if anyone wants to know, is this the right type of investment? Yes, absolutely. It is a great investment, and I'm so glad we get our federal tax dollars coming right back here to San Diego, thanks to Congresswoman Jacobs and because of the thought leadership of Supervisor Anderson. This is what you get. You can have people of both parties reaching across the aisle and say, let's serve our constituents. That's what you have today. Now, allow me to introduce our Director of the County Office of Homeless Solutions, the people who are going to be doing the hard work and making sure this runs successfully. Please welcome Deanna Beck.
Thank you, Councilmember Campillo, and thank you, Supervisor Anderson and Congresswoman Jacobs, for your remarks and your support in making this new county safe parking site happen, a reality. This location is part of our broader efforts to expand on emergency housing, and we call those efforts Compassionate Emergency Solutions and Pathways to Housing. Those are truly collaborative efforts that happen. We heard the remarks, but also many county departments that work on this. Today, I have my Department of General Services, Marco Medved is here, the director. I have Director of Housing and Development Services, David Estrella, over there in the back in the shade. Our Sheriff's Department, who's part of our county outreach team, and many others that just make these sites a success. So very proud to be standing here today on behalf of our county team. These efforts were initiated back in 2021, the broader efforts by Supervisor Anderson and his office, and continue to be supported by our Board of Supervisors today. Everyone's journey into homelessness looks different, and their way out of homelessness also looks very different. So it is important, based on feedback that we've received from our community, including people with lived experience, is that we have different options. So we, through our efforts, we administer several different options, including safe parking sites like these. We have our 2 other sites, which we established In unincorporated communities, we have, they're called Magnolia Safe Parking and Bancroft Safe Parking. They combined provides 44 spaces, and this adds additional 20 spaces to that portfolio. In those other sites, we've served over 260 individuals so far, including 54 children, 88 seniors, and as Supervisor Anderson mentioned, we have 52% exiting to more stable housing options. It is really exciting to see that transition happen, and we also, if this is not the site for them, we offer our Regional Homeless Assistance Program, which is a program that leverages hotels and motels as emergency housing, and in that program, we've served over 2,500 people with about 40% exiting to permanent housing. So along with some of the services I provide, we provide meals and flexible funding to remove barriers to housing. And so, and as you already heard, this location is temporary, but it will transition into something more permanent, which turns into affordable housing units. And so this site will operate while we await construction of those units, and then as we get ready to establish over 300 units at this location. So as all these options are very important, as we know that one size does not fit all to homelessness. And so to talk a little more about this program's success, safe parking in general, I will now turn it over to Teresa from Dreams for Change, who's our contractor that operates our two other sites and has been contracted to operate this site. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to start off by thanking Congresswoman Jacobs, Supervisors Anderson, and Councilmember Campanillo for coming together and really making this happen. When we started safe parking a little over 15 years ago, and the safe parking kind of concept and movement, I had no idea that I would be standing here 15 plus years later with both our federal government, our county government, and our local government really coming together to make these sites happen throughout our communities. Where we have known for many, many years, the best model is to bring them directly into the communities where people are from, so we can keep them connected to those communities. So here at the Grantville Safe Parking, so a few specifics. This particular site will be operating 7 days a week. Clients will start arriving around 5:30, with tonight being our first night of operation, and have scheduled intakes already lined up for this evening. They can stay all the way till 7:30 the following morning, at which point in time they will leave the property and go about their day, and we'll see them come back in the evening time. As mentioned, this site is fully staffed with services. As you can see, we have portable restrooms, space for clients to stay out of the shade, have a place to kind of sit and relax, little area for the food and snacks and other things will be kept. In addition, we have case managers that will be on site providing those services nightly. So every night they have access to case managers. In addition, we have a housing navigator that will really work with them to find that very special unit, in a sense, that will match for them and their family. As far as who will be staying here, our household for us is really anyone. Sometimes it's a single individual, sometimes it's a couple, sometimes it's a family, single parents, single dads, the whole host. Sometimes it's our older and elderly families with adult children, helping take care of them. It really is a representative of the communities that we are within. Other things about the site I mentioned, like I said, is housing navigation, meal services, so there'll be dinner provided every night for everyone, in addition to more like a continental breakfast. As you know, our number one goal is to connect people back into that permanent housing situation. So we're really excited to be here, to have another site come online. We have multiple wait lists of individuals and households looking for type of space. So within, I'm sure, a few days we will be at capacity. So with that, I do thank everyone for being here and helping us celebrate the opening of this site, and really for everyone coming together to make this happen.
We are available for questioning individually. That way you can get to the questions quickly. I know it's warm, and I know that you've got other projects to get to. All of us are available. Just come up and ask us, and we're happy to answer on one-on-one. Thank you all for being here. This is a tremendous day for San Diego County because government working together for the people is always a good thing. Thank you all.